What's up, Big Bear Nation? Welcome back to the homestead. Ladies, what are y'all doing? Are you supposed to be over here? What are you looking for? Huh? Y'all aren't laying eggs up here, are you? So by now, everybody knows that the price of things are going up. Gas, groceries, everything. Well, recently we noticed that our feed is going up. We purchase feed for our pigs and also for our chickens, our meat birds and our laying birds. So when we started to notice that our feed bill was going up, we started thinking about different ways that we can supplement the feed or completely get rid of the feed bill, which for us would be a really big deal because just in the last 3 months, feed has gone up over 3 cents a pound. Now that doesn't seem like much, but I have my feed bill right here. And when you're buying 740 pounds of feed and 340 pounds of feed, that starts to add up. So one of the things that we're going to start doing is raising our own mealworms. So I wanted to show you what we've set up and just give you a couple of things that we've learned just in the last few days. So the setup for mealworms is really not that involved, or it can be. I've watched a lot of videos, I've talked to a lot of friends that do mealworms, and ultimately you only need to keep up with a few things. One is you have to have some kind of a container for them. 2, you have to have some kind of substrate. And 3, you have to have something that has moisture in it so that they can get water without like being in water. So when we set ours up, we got our containers of mealworms from a local pet store. Then we brought those home, took them out, and then we purchased a 3-tiered drawer, like a Sterilite from Walmart. And in the first drawer, we went ahead and we put oatmeal in there, and that's the substrate. Then we cut up a little bit of a carrot, put that in there, and that is to provide them with moisture. And we put it in a closet and just let it be. So one of the first things I want to tell you that I learned that I don't really ever remember seeing specifically said somewhere was about the temperature that they need. Now when I finally looked it up, I could find plenty of information about what kind of temperatures they needed, but in all the setups that I saw, never once did I hear it needs to be X degrees. Well, after we initially set them up and put them in a dark closet, we came to check on them a couple of days later, and they weren't moving much at all. So I thought I'd killed them. Well, come to find out, mealworms need it to be like 75, 80 degrees. So we took the setup, and instead of in a closet where it was still kind of cool, we moved it into where our seed room is. And so now the mealworms are thriving because they're warm, they have moisture, and they have food. So why mealworms? Mealworms provide a couple of different things for the homesteader. They're really an ideal thing for homesteaders to set up. One, they obviously provide protein for your birds. 2, the exoskeletons and the frass, which is actually their poo pellets, can be sifted out and used for fertilizer. One other thing that I did not find anything about until after I had already done it was purchasing your mealworms from a pet store. Sometimes the pet stores where they get their mealworms from will actually spray the mealworms or give them some kind of feed or something that makes it so that they can't reproduce. They don't keep going through the stages. So if you're trying to perpetuate this life cycle where it goes from the egg to the pupa to the larva to the beetle, it's probably best to outsource your mealworms from a reputable mealworm farm as opposed to trying to use a pet store. We're gonna let it ride with these guys that we got, but I'm definitely keeping an eye out to see if they're going to turn into beetles. If within a week they don't turn into beetles, I think it's supposed to be a week to 14 days, if they don't turn into beetles, then we will look into purchasing mealworms from a reputable mealworm farm. So if any of you guys raise mealworms and maybe I left something out, or maybe you have a good suggestion for where we can get mealworms so that we can perpetuate that cycle, leave those down in the comments below. Thank you for stopping by the Big Bear Homestead. God bless, and have a nice day.